And welcome to Armchair Quarterback. Hard to believe that we're heading into week 10 of the season.
Bye week for the Pats.
Bye week for Pats, just in time, and a little time for them to savor what I think was probably the most satisfying win of the season. They actually take the Broncos, tear them apart, I guess.
That looks like a combination, like New Orleans Saints.
Well, no, this is actually the NFL is promoting the Veterans Day garb with the veterans kind of camouflage colors, the American flag, the whole ribbon.
That's nice.
You must have like
a billion shirts.
how many? I mean, like 500 shirts.
Yeah, this is actually
Really? I mean, this is different.
John O'Toole, not the Waltham John O'Toole. John O'Toole, who works with my wife for the Staples Corporation, works at Nike Town. He can get discounts and all this stuff. So he always sets me up.
There you
the
go.
candy
He's always looking out
Nice.
for these extra things. And it's topical and all that stuff.
Really?
But Patriots.
I thought it was Drew Brees sitting over there for a second. It was like a double take.
Little time to savor this victory. Patriots win, and they win in all three phases of the game. Defense dominating, special teams, big plays. Their offense seems to be clicking. Gronkowski absolutely on fire right now.
Really?
Absolutely force. He looks like he is as close to 100%.
Just keep him healthy.
As he's
Yeah,
been.
he
in
looks
the
great.
Keep him healthy.
Not to mention that one-handed catch he made late in that game.
Yep.
It was just one of the most spectacular plays. We'll show you a little.
They did you see how they analyzed on ESPN? You know, he planted his foot and he turned 45 degrees.
Oh
this
yeah,
way,
they
reached
always do
back
the
this way.
science.
Yeah.
The science
Yeah.
guy.
My wife
always
was
throwing
watching, she's
45
like,
miles
really,
an hour.
they're taking it to another level here, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's a great
I
catch.
kind of like that when they do that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
pretty good.
interesting. So
But anyway, Rich, you were there. We got to
Yep.
see it firsthand.
Yep. Stadium was loud, right?
It was
Crowd
funny.
was into it.
It was funny, and I don't know why this happens, but I guess it's the nature gods. Peyton Manning in town. Here comes the snow.
Here comes the snow, but I tell you what, at game time, it wasn't that bad. The wind was definitely blowing, but Phil, like we talked about earlier,
Way worse.
We've been to way worse. Okay,
over the years,
so there was definitely the you wanted to have one side of the field, and
Right.
when they swapped, it definitely changed the game planning a little bit, but.
A couple hours before the game, they showed the field covered with snow.
Yeah,
You're like, wow,
yeah,
this could get ugly, but they
but
cleared it up pretty good.
It really
we'll show you
was.
the time lapses actually starts
so,
the highlight.
And
reel.
but it definitely the wind had a impact on the Manning's ball flutters.
Right.
Brady throws a tight spiral, and so I think it was in his advantage for sure.
A nice win.
Yeah, a big win.
Big.
And it's funny, the Patriots, they're a little bit of a pattern that they have going here.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Did you watch it on TV?
Yeah.
Right. So at the start of the game, right? Did they pan the stadium to show how many people were in there, or not, or
Yeah, not really. I mean, they just
Okay.
kind of focused on the weather before the game.
because it's interesting. They still have not figured out.
People can't get into their seats.
People can't get in. And you know what? And I saw this the night before, and I don't want to belabor it, but you saw the Patriots would like you to get there and go into it when the stadium opens at 2:25 to make sure that you get into your seat, so
An hour and a half early?
Yeah, that's 2 hours early.
2:25.
2:25 is
Oh, yeah,
2
yeah,
hours.
yeah,
25 starts.
And I'm like, and I'll
Really?
be damned
Yeah, no
if I'm
kidding.
going to go into the stadium
Just figure it
2
out.
hours before,
It's
so
buy-
Crafty Bob
yeah,
can
buy-
get more of my
yeah,
money.
buy your $10 beers
Ten-
when
buy
you got 'em-
my
you got 'em in
$10
your-
beer.
in your cooler for
Why
free.
don't you hire 2 more people
Right.
at each entrance
To irritate.
for the gates?
It's not like they're giving those
I don't
tickets
want.
away.
Yeah, look at the game was awesome.
Yeah.
And they played great. So
And then
a lot of people missed the first part of it. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
What happened
I
to our
experienced that in the
Cleveland
Oakland game.
Browns?
Remember this year? I'm like, I go,
Yeah.
first quarter already started. Second series of downs, get to the beer line. But anyway, Edelman, a nice little bounce back game for him. He was kind of disappeared a little bit in the offense, back with a big punt return.
Punt return and a couple of key catches,
yes,
part of
exactly.
the offense. But Brady spread the ball around well.
Right. They're just making plays, and I think Gronkowski is just a force. They got to keep an eye on him. But I think the defense, you got to take your hats off to the defenses on top of that. Demarius Thomas, they barely even mentioned his name during the
I
broadcast.
tell you what, right? You know who? Look at Brown had a great game, right? Revis, too. That when you can lock down on 2 guys and make Manning have to go to his second, third, fourth read,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You know who had a great game? this is just my opinion, Patrick Chung.
He did.
Had
I remember
good,
thinking.
had a good game.
I
I'm
remember
like,
thinking,
really? He's
how,
covering guys?
Now, was it Chung or McCourty that absolutely laid out Wes Welker? It was on the Browner interception. And I don't know if Welker returned after that.
He didn't when he got hit in the back.
Yeah.
Do we have that? I can't remember who that was.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it might be 32, which then it's McCourty.
He buckled him, boy, and that ball was already out before then because it hit off his chest.
It hit his chest
but he
first.
just labeled him in the back, and oh man, and Phil,
And
that's when you text me.
That's what I text.
You know,
I go, what street is Wes Welker living on?
and I told Phil that Wes Welker was on Queer Street because
Yeah,
he did not know.
That hurt just watching it.
Yeah, it did.
That
man.
can't
Your
be
back isn't supposed to bend like that.
No. But anyway, let's go to the highlights. There's a
No,
lot-
I
lot to talk
remember
about.
thinking Chung. He broke up a touchdown. And I remember our guest last week.
He got beat.
commenting
He
about
got beat
how
on one,
Chung
but
made
you
him
know what? Though
nervous,
he
so
never,
was it
that's a
D-Day.
matchup he never should have been
But I
in
said,
to
wow,
begin
he
with.
played
so,
pretty good.
But
Played a
yeah,
good game.
so it was fun to watch.
Right. Anyway, so let's go to the highlights from last week, Patriots and Broncos, and it started off with the there's the Gronk one-handed catch late in the game, but here's the time lapse of the snow
What snow?
gone before you even know it, and of course this is their sixth. This matchup gets Roman numerals, I guess. now, too.
16th, right?
The 16th meeting right
matchup.
there.
So,
And Gronkowski making a different
man,
difference.
everybody he gets nailed in the knee. Like,
Yeah, they go low, and that's number what 43. That's the guy with Cleveland Browns.
yeah, who knocked
The
him
guy
out
that-
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
knocked him out. And this
then
play here is
Ninkovich.
a perfect read by Ninkovich right
Yeah.
there, right. I don't know if he was just kind of like disguising, but they knew where they were going a lot of
Well,
times.
I think they switched up their packages on defense a lot, like every time, and and I don't want to say Manning was confused, but it made him work.
Yeah.
To have to look and
Yeah, and the timing was disrupted.
Right.
for
You like
sure.
Ninkovich?
I do.
I don't think he gets enough credit. I think he kind of he's one of those unsung hero guys.
He's like, what, to me, he's like a Vrabel. He's
solid,
like
yeah.
that,
He's
he's
solid.
Not a rah kind of
yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he doesn't
but
get the
he's
big hype, but he's pretty
always
good.
around
Yeah,
the ball. This is an Edelman return.
Yeah, and it was it throws off your defense when the punter cannot get the timing down.
Yeah.
You're over.
Might have got away with a block in the back there. Was
kinda opened it
questionable, but you know what?
Well, take what you can get.
Take what you can get.
And then Manning
Oh,
coming back, a
Peyton.
nice little sack.
And that's a
there.
3-man rush right there that got to that. So, that hardly ever happens with Manning, and,
And then the pattern has been the Patriots in the second quarter, the knockout punch right before the half, and this at 27-7.
But the defense set that up. They stopped Manning, they got the ball back, and went down the field and scored it. And it was,
a beautiful thing.
yeah, it
and
was.
then like a slight hiccup here as not a perfect throw there. Gets tipped. Amendola cannot come down with it.
How come it's always Amendola?
It just seems to
know?
be that way. And then Manning comes right back. Quick scoring pass here to Julius Thomas. And a little bit of a ball game here, but the Patriots, to their credit, they come right back and throw the knockout punch pretty much next
Yeah.
time they get the hands on the ball.
Peyton didn't have his A.
There it
game.
is, right there.
Yeah, there's the hit there. And Browner right in the right place to pick it off. But again, the Welker got hit right off his pads. He didn't get the arms out there, and maybe he heard some footsteps.
Yeah, all right, so you can probably see who it
see
was
the-
here.
Ooh,
Was it
that had to
32?
hurt a little
I
bit.
can't see. Or was that Arrington? I don't know.
It could have been Arrington. It
Yeah.
could have been Chung. But anyway, the Patriots come right back here. LaFell contributing. Everybody getting involved in the offense here. And the Patriots, they win this one going away.
Yeah, no contest.
43. And there's the catch by Gronk. Just absolutely amazing. Going up with the, makes you a little nervous with that.
Behind him,
One hand, one
left
hand.
hand,
Reeling it in.
and then
No.
gets the touchdown. Look at how can you cover him right here?
Impossible.
You can't.
Unstoppable. That like the red zone force to be reckoned
Man
with.
amongst boys.
And the Patriots go on and they spank the Broncos
Who would've thought
43-21.
Yeah, but you
We
know what?
were all kind of agreeing that just go, the points. I think I'll take the points. The Patriots as a home dog. We all talked about that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And they deliver. Big
Yeah.
time.
Hey.
You know
And this,
what?
this actually could be big going, the home field advantage. and
Well,
they
let's
tie.
not get crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
of
I mean,
course.
because
They
they
got a tough schedule coming up.
Broncos have an much easier
the
schedule.
Broncos have an easier schedule. The Pats have a tough schedule with teams on the road.
Really?
and
Colts, Green Bay.
San Diego.
Yeah,
Well,
San Diego's come
got-
back. I was thinking of you that when
San Diego,
Rivers was
absolutely.
San
continued to
Diego
have
They
did
got-
not show up at all.
meltdown
I don't know
continues.
I don't know what team flew to Miami,
See,
but it wasn't the Chargers.
But,
That was
but
bad.
if you play them at home, I don't know, whatever. The challenge is that the Pats have a much more difficult schedule. They
Yeah, for sure.
they play Detroit at home,
Right.
but still, Detroit
Detroit's
is a
competitive.
competitive.
yeah, and then at Green Bay, at San Diego, back to back.
As long as it's not
and
Thanksgiving.
then
It's
you know
not
what?
Thanksgiving.
And Miami's hanging around.
Miami's really. I mean, they looked good last week.
And Miami came out and they just blew the doors off.
off of
San
San
Diego.
Diego, which was very surprising. I got to believe some people lost
And
money on that.
I guess they have not won since they won that overtime game in '81. San Diego has not won in Miami,
Oh, really? So,
which is what two
Yeah,
stadiums
they're going the
ago?
wrong direction.
and Buffalo's playing well too. I mean, like
Not bad.
So
I think
you-
that's good for the Pats.
Yeah,
I mean, in,
so
in a division where
they-
they basically have it won by
Well, the only
Halloween,
team, the only
Thanksgiving.
team that stinks in the division
Jets.
is the Jets.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
are brutal.
Yeah. So
But anyway,
Sexy Rexy.
Sexy Rexy. I mean,
Yeah.
done deal.
I don't know.
I-
Talk about him going to Atlanta Falcons maybe after the season as a possible landing
I was
spot.
spreading that rumor last week. The defensive coach or something.
anyway.
He's a good defensive
Well, he'll
coach.
get a job
So-
in the
Yeah.
NFL for sure.
So
but,
big win for the Pats, though. Big win for the
yeah,
Pats.
monster win. They moved their record to 7-2, best in the AFC. And believe it or not, the Arizona Cardinals at 7-1.
Yeah.
The other 7-win
Some people
team.
saying the best team in football right now is the Cardinals.
Boy, that's. I mean, we a lot of us. I think a lot of us jumped on that Arizona.
I was
in-
kicking myself. I went with
Yeah.
the Browns, Richie's Browns, who they made a nice win, but spread was 6. They won by 5, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was them or Arizona. And I was like, you always can. It's always easy when the games are played.
Yeah, and then I tanked it on. I figured that Seattle has got to win a game big. 15 points, too much to give away. Too
much.
The Raiders put up 24
Oh my God,
points.
yeah.
It's scary.
And
I don't know what's
and
going
could have
on.
won the game.
They had their chances.
Yep, they had their
down the
chances,
stretches.
so,
So I don't
you
know
know.
what's going on with Seattle. They are not clicking. A team that looks like is unbelievable right now. Again, 6 touchdowns for Ben Roethlisberger in
Really?
in the Steelers.
Your
They
favorite
just
team?
they
That's 12 in
destroy
2 weeks.
They destroy Baltimore. He actually breaks Brady's 2-game record of 11 touchdowns. Roethlisberger throws for
unbelievable.
for 12 touchdowns.
I mean, they didn't look good starting the season. They
No,
looked like an
but,
average team.
And-
Something happened with that team. If you remember that Monday night game, they were getting blown out by Houston on Monday Night Football at home. Something just clicked in the second quarter, and they have not stopped
Yeah.
since.
So
Yeah, no, they
it's
got the offense clicking. They got some good weapons. I mean, the kid, the receiver,
This Martavis, well,
Antonio Brown, man,
Yeah.
is he unbelievable. He's just,
unbelievable weapon.
right. And they got a couple other. The
This
kid
other guy-
Wheaton's pretty good. This other kid,
Martavis
yeah, he's
Bryant.
stepping up. The running back's great. So they got
Le'Veon
some
Bell.
weapons, but they maybe it just took them a little while to get in sync.
Well, you know what? You look at it, and you wouldn't think it, but they have 6 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were 3-3 at one point, I believe.
Yeah.
So
and,
they've
Yeah,
and
and
not
not-
looking and
not
not
looking
looking
good.
good.
right.
So
They've turned it around.
Right. And believe it or not, the Cincinnati Bengals still lead that division with that tie.
Yep,
They have a
but-
bit of a tough game with Jacksonville. They don't cover the game, but they win it. So
but they have a big game this week because it's Cleveland, Cincinnati, right? I think so.
Thursday night matchup.
Yep. So
Always a grudge
that
match.
will be for first place.
Yes,
that
yeah.
game will be for first place, and but the way that
Brownies.
the way that Pittsburgh's playing though, gee,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
You
think
know what?
their defense is a little suspect. I think
Right.
still,
Yeah.
but their offense
So-
has not looked this good in years.
Yeah. So well,
So that's
that's
a
that
tough
that
one.
right there. That's a competitive division.
Yeah.
So
How about the return of Mark Sanchez to prominence?
Well, it was a very costly win for the Philadelphia Eagles
Mm-hmm.
this week. The Eagles get a big win, but they lose they lose Foles with a broken collarbone, out
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. Here comes Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez, was a good,
maybe
was
is
a
it-
great college player. Did he win the Heisman?
He did for USC.
So, and the,
Yep.
and the rumor has it Foles kind of was losing favor with the team. He started out like gangbusters when he got his shot, but that team wasn't really clicking offensively. So I don't know.
LaShawn McCoy's been lost in the offense.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just a balance thing,
Well,
but they've tried to push that Chip Kelly offense.
Maybe
I think you're going to see a lot more LaShawn McCoy now.
with Sanchez, yeah.
I think they're going to try to protect Sanchez
Right,
a little bit.
right.
And
Macklin's really stepped up for
and
him.
only put him in positions, to.
Hand
He's
it
not
off.
going to throw the ball 30 times. You know what I mean? So it'll all be safe, and maybe take shots downfield in certain situations, but they're not going to put him in a spot where he's going to turn the ball over.
I love the.
Try not
they
to.
get a,
Or
they
try
get
Try
the-
not to. Yeah.
The rookie tight end, Zach Ertz, he's a pretty nice player.
Yeah.
They just don't really get it to him. But when he gets the ball, I guess he's not that great a blocker. And they got Selleck. And Macklin's the guy that's really stepped up to be
Macklin,
number one over
Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper's kind of lost in the shuffle out there. But McCoy, I think you're right. I think you're going to see him go more towards, with Sanchez, more towards McCoy because he hasn't really been the guy
Well,
that
and
he was.
maybe,
The
and
leading
maybe
rush from the
Sproles,
NFL.
to whatever. But I think it's going to be more of a, short pass, run.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
more
somebody
conservative.
Get somebody in space. And,
Yeah, and if Sproles is healthy, obviously coming back after missing a couple of weeks, still a little slow getting back into the
Yeah.
routine of things. Dallas,
Another team turning in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and Romo misses the game.
Did we all have New Orleans last week? A couple
no.
of us did.
No, I didn't take that game. That was they looked good on the road,
Yeah.
which is kind of surprising. First road win in a year for the New
they
Orleans
did,
Saints. So big win for them.
Dallas not looking so good.
They move into first place with a 4-4 record. We talk about some of these divisions that are competitive. The NFC South is just not looking too good these days. If the Saints can be at 500 in first place, big game though this week where the San Francisco 49ers lose a game on the goal line. Kaepernick about to go in to win the game, fumbles into the end zone. St. Louis with the upset in San
How do you
Francisco
figure,
this
right?
week. San Fran coming off a bye week. Hard to figure, but
That St. Louis team is tough.
the
to figure.
Rams play the 49ers tough.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
I don't know
I don't
why.
know. The Rams have played
Played everybody tough.
They've played a lot of teams tough.
Yeah,
So
you get that Jeff Fisher coach. I mean, I think you just don't
come
go
on,
out there and
they lost their quarterback,
Right.
right? Which probably might. I don't know in the long run. I don't know if he'll be back. He gets
He
hurt
might ever
every-
come back.
Yeah.
He gets hurt
Brad
every
Bradford,
year.
he's
So
just
number one
how
pick
can, how
when he
can
was
you,
in
how
college?
can
I
you,
don't-
yeah,
I liked him when he
yeah,
first came
but
out. He was-
you know what?
can't stay on the field.
Jeff Fisher, he's coached those guys. He gets the most out of those
He
players.
does. He does.
And
Not a lot of talent there.
You're not going to get on
No.
the field if you're not going to play for the guy. So,
So,
So
but
I-
you know, it didn't break my heart to see
San Fran.
San Fran lose.
Yeah,
Whether he was in or not, I don't know. It was a questionable call.
Yeah, usually
But-
on that, I mean, the home team gets the call, not in this case.
Yeah,
But
no.
big loss.
But
Setting
they
up a
never
big
should have
game.
been in that
No, that's the predicament.
predicament.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So
Yeah, so 49ers on the ropes. Now at 4-4, play the Saints at 4-4. They play each other this week. Monster game at the Superdome this week. So
Really?
the loser goes to 4-5.
who's favored?
Saints are favored.
Right,
'cause
yeah, I
they're
gotta
home.
believe
So
they're
Four and a
at
half,
home.
is that what it is?
It's 4.5, kind of a big spread.
It is kind of big for.
Another team that looked pretty good this week. We talked about it. The Arizona Cardinals. Now it's 7-1, and this team is really they've held it together. And with Palmer back, Larry Fitzgerald now a force again. He's been kind of like lost
Yeah.
in the
They got a
shuffle
lot of
with those backup
weapons there.
quarterbacks.
They're spreading the ball around very well there.
Yeah.
And and
And a good D too.
Yeah, Ellington.
Well,
the defense I think is driving the team.
yeah, but I think they buy in. I think they're playing as a team. The only dissension was Fitzgerald's father was thinking that he wasn't getting the ball enough
really?
earlier in the season. Oh yeah,
You're getting a
earlier in
little
the
too
season,
involved.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
really.
But I think they're in a team concept. They spread the ball around because they did it with their backup quarterback. In the beginning of the year when Palmer was out. Now he's back, and I don't know if you like Carson Palmer or not, but he can still throw the ball.
He can
So-
still throw the long ball.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was kind of
so-
writing him off, a couple of years ago, but he seems like he's. I don't know if he's all the way back, but he's doing the job there.
Well, I don't know. They're 7-1. And
Maybe he
they-
lost
you
a
know
little
what?
arm strength, but he's
And
still
now
a
they
smart
have,
player.
they play some tough team. They got to still play Seattle twice. I think.
Seattle twice. I think
Yeah,
San
so-
Francisco one more time.
One more time. So,
That's no layups in that division for
Yeah.
sure. So looking good. I mean, remember 10-6 last year did not get them in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of their
that's
their
probably
chip from last
carrying
year.
them a little bit. They might be playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah,
too,
I think
so.
for sure. Baltimore Colts, Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football. Boy, they tore the Giants apart.
Yeah, they did.
And when Andrew Luck is on, that offense looks unstoppable.
I mean, I remember
times.
I was surprised that Chucky up in the booth, who's pretty knowledgeable guy. I think at one point he was saying, if I had to pick one player to build my franchise, it would be Andrew Luck, which is quite a statement considering you got Tom Brady's and Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah,
Cam
but
Newton.
they're at the tail end.
Right.
All he has is upside.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
You know,
You
I
know,
used to,
this
I,
is-
first I was
This is
kind
what,
of.
third
it's-
full year in the league?
Yeah.
This is third
yeah.
full year.
So I was kind of at first. I just wasn't realizing just how good this was. I'd watch him and I'm saying, is this kid? He doesn't seem that great. But the more I watch him, I'm like, the kid's tough. He runs hard, very competitive.
Yeah.
very smart.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's
Yeah.
you know what? He'll stay in the pocket and take the hit.
Yeah.
He's big.
Total package.
You know, he's big. He's kind of like a little bit of Roethlisberger, a little
Yeah,
bit. You
yeah.
know,
And he's not afraid to run.
and
out
he's
of the
not
pocket.
afraid to
He'll-
run.
He will
you
run.
know? He will run.
I think if Bradshaw, the running back, can stay healthy, Richardson does not do it for me as the
No.
running back.
Although he ripped a couple of decent runs off the other day.
I think because the passing was clicking so much.
But
and a
I don't know.
Had a healthy Reggie
the
Wayne
week
makes a
before, who
difference.
did they play? Did they play? It was
They got
Colts
smoked.
got smoked by the Steelers.
Pittsburgh, right?
Right.
So, and so their defense might be a little suspect,
Yeah.
you know. So when the Pats come back and play them, that's going to be an interesting matchup. You know,
Should be because the game is in Indy, and
Yep.
both teams coming off a bye week, so that should be a big test.
Yep.
I think for the
So-
Patriots.
So that's
they've
2
never-
weeks. That's Indy.
In
Yeah.
2 weeks in
That's a
Indy.
big one.
2 weeks.
Sunday night game.
So,
So
yeah,
that should be a good
and
one.
you know they'll be all wound up ready
For
to
sure.
play.
For sure.
So,
That's a primetime game.
yep.
Yeah,
So
and it's a big one in the AFC. It's going to go a long way to find out who's going to be
Yeah.
the seeding coming down the stretch here.
Yeah,
A team that pulled it out this week, and RG3 gets the start this week, but they can't pull it out. Minnesota, and then the latest on
More
Adrian Peterson.
controversy. Oh wow.
Is the plea bargain? Is he coming back?
Yeah,
Is he
Ray
not
Rice is
back?
coming back too after he sues the Ravens. Really?
This is kind of how we started our season, talking about these two issues.
Okay,
but,
but Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, I think two different situations.
Yeah.
Ray Rice is a man without a team.
correct. He was
right?
cut.
He was cut.
Yep.
So even if he gets reinstated, does anybody pick him up?
Patriots.
Boy, and he's
He's that good.
past his prime.
Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Did
that
he not
good.
clear?
I don't
well,
know
he
if-
doesn't have to clear waivers. He's cut.
He's
so
cut.
He
So-
definitely.
I mean, but that will be the question: like, who picks him up, and who wants to take that PR hit?
Right, yeah.
You know.
Sure. But he was a great running back, and you know what?
No,
he was a
he
good
probably
guy. He,
still
he
has-
made a big mistake.
Yeah.
And so, do you condemn him for life? It's a tough thing to say. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
And then
to that.
in the latest, the situation with Adrian Peterson, he hires Roger Clemens' attorney, and they soften it by calling it a switch, which Rich, you said it's a term that you've heard, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's they try to soften what.
Well, look at
the
he
event was.
pleaded guilty to a lesser charge, a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor,
As it works out, it's a misdemeanor, and so a misdemeanor. Look, it's how you're going to interpret it.
Right.
So in a court of law, a misdemeanor is like a shoplifting charge, and I don't want to
You can't
downgrade
you can't belittle what has happened.
exactly
Child abuse. It's
but
a big
then you
issue.
look at it one way, but then the public outcry is another, and I think Goodell's in a tough spot here because it's a fine line. So he's already been out for 8 games, but there was no penalty.
He's getting paid.
He's
this
getting
entire
paid,
time.
So
The NFL will probably they'll put in their 2 cents with we're going to take
But how-
four paychecks away.
I don't know. That's where the fine line is. Do you do the 6 remaining, or do you But his argument's going to be, well, wait a minute. This is a misdemeanor charge,
Yeah.
and but Ray Rice was never charged with anything.
anything.
I don't
So
want to.
It's a tough.
It's a tough call. For
I don't
sure.
want to condone what he did. I'm certainly not condoning what he did, but I've worked with people that do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Every day for 20 years, and I don't think any of them ever had their jobs taken away.
Yeah.
Is it because he's in the spotlight? Is it a millionaire?
Yeah,
Because of public outcry?
Yeah.
So I see these people
tell you
every day.
I know,
Double-edged
Pete.
But
sword. No,
they
sure.
don't take
That's what-
their
you know?
livelihood away. I'm not saying it's right. I mean, I think the biggest mistake the guy made was saying, "Oh, my father did it to me, so I did it to my kid."
Yeah, it
you know
doesn't-
that.
Well,
You know
okay,
that's
but-
that was 30 years ago,
Doesn't
dude.
make it right.
So it's not. Times have changed. That doesn't mean it's right. It's wrong.
I'm just saying, in the situation that the NFL is in this year, from
Especially coming off of Ray Rice.
Coming off of Ray Rice, it's just a tough.
They didn't need
it's a
any more
tough
bad
spot,
hype.
spot.
Yeah,
You know.
sure.
So anyway.
Anyway, it's a quick half hour pick time. Let's take a look at the standings, the status quo. We are all kind of
Let's end the season right here.
two out of 3 this week. Chris Delaney also 2 for 3 this week with his picks. So Pete still leading the pack here with the 16 and.
So we're at the halfway
6.
point.
Pretty much. We get and
Okay.
then we get all the playoff
right,
games
so
to go as well.
It's really 0-0, Pete.
Anybody's race.
It's anybody's horse
it's
race.
a new,
If that's
it's
the
a
case,
new
I'm
beginning.
gonna saddle it up right here. I'm gonna saddle it up and keep riding those Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
Big spread, but Oakland. I mean, I saw what they did to Seattle, but I think Denver maybe after getting beat up last week, they might want to beat somebody else.
They may want to put it into a different
At
gear.
Oakland.
Yeah.
But they don't belong in the same field, really. You know.
I don't know. Did the Pats give you a little bit of a little bit of a blueprint?
Does Oakland have
You
the
know,
personnel? to
they
do
might
that?
not, but I tell
Maybe.
you what, they might be able just to whack their receivers.
Tom Brady,
No,
David Carr.
I got that. You know.
What's his name? Carr.
Well,
Not David
and they
Carr.
haven't won yet.
Right. I'm going to pick Arizona. I hope it's not a week too late because I liked them last week and I went with Cleveland because I was buying what Rich was
St.
selling.
Louis coming off a monster win.
Right.
Another week on the road for the Rams.
So Arizona, I think they're in first place. People are calling them the best team in football, so they're going to keep it going.
Yep.
And I think they're hungry, because
Yeah.
especially after that 10-6 no playoff season.
They got the chip on the shoulder.
And I'm going to take my other team just to kind of like throw a beating on Dub Bears. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers is back. He's left with a little hammy problem.
Yeah, I think.
So
What's the word? Relax.
relax. So I think Green Bay could really run it up on the Bears.
Yeah, I agree with the Green Bay pick, Pete. The Bears, I don't think, have learned anything during their bye week. I know it's a division game.
You don't think
7.5
Brandon Marshall's
points.
learned anything?
I think it continues to unravel for Coach Tressman and the Bears squad. So
Jay Cutler.
kind of a lot of points to give away, but Green Bay at home, I like that spot for the Packers coming off the bye week. Bears are coming off a bye week as well, but give away the 7.5. I like Green Bay at Lambeau this week. Go with them. You got to pick against the Jets. The Steelers are just
I know
on
the
a roll.
Steelers were very tempting.
The Jets, you got to believe that they're going to continue the free fall.
They got Michael Vick quarterbacking now.
4.5. Michael Vick, yeah, sure, why not? So
There's
give
another guy.
away the 4.5.
They forgave Michael Vick. Look at he's back. You ever thought he would be back?
I know. Well,
Stop.
he actually served jail
He
time.
did his.
right.
He did his time.
So those
And
guys,
you-
Ray Rice will do a year in
what,
jail to come back.
The Miami Dolphins,
They do look good.
They look good. But
They really.
Detroit, coming off a bye
Detroit's
week after a
sputtering.
miracle win, just 2.5 points in Detroit this week. Probably get Calvin Johnson back. They probably get Reggie Bush back.
Is it Detroit or Miami? Who's he going
You
to
got to like Detroit this week. At,
like
at
Detroit?
home. So I'm going to take the Lions, give away the 2.5. The Dolphins, I'm just not
Did he throw us
buying
a
them yet.
curveball there? Didn't he start it out like he was going to Miami there?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So then it comes to me.
Comes to you, Richie, baby.
You know what? I think I'm going to go with all underdogs this week.
Those Cleveland Browns.
Again?
No,
Browns.
I'm going to
Not
get
after
off the
last week.
Cleveland bandwagon.
Browns.
Although I really would like to see them beat Cincinnati.
I feel a
but,
Buffalo
you know,
pick coming out of him.
Oh, that's the first one.
Oh,
I'll
there you
take
go.
Buffalo.
Can I pick some more?
I love that Buffalo
in
pick.
Buffalo, Kansas City. You know what? I'm still not sold on Kansas City and Buffalo at home. You know what? The revival of
Kyle Orton.
Kyle
Orton
Orton
mania.
You
Right,
know?
right.
So I don't know. So I like that pick.
Are you going against one of us? On one of these underdog picks?
No, maybe not.
Yeah. No.
Run it
I don't-
short
I
of
don't-
Run it
I
down
don't think
the
so.
right
Yeah,
side
so,
of the column.
I'm going to take Jacksonville.
The Jaguars.
All right.
Wow.
That's a stupid pick.
They covered
In
last
London,
week.
You know,
Hey.
but there's a stupid pick. But I think this could be like a little bit of the Dallas. You know, I don't know if Romo's going to play or not.
Just
you
kick
know,
him
but-
a little
Games in
more.
London.
The game's in London. So
Marty's,
anyway.
Marty's giving us the quick.
And then the
making
last
like a
one,
quick-
settle down, Marty, will you? All right, I'm gonna go with the New York Football Giants.
New
Giants.
York Giants.
Wow.
See,
I don't care. It's in Seattle.
Nine
Wow, he's
points.
bold.
They just that's.
Coughlin is going to rip that team a new one.
But
on the way to
remember,
Seattle.
they were 3-5 when
That's
they
right.
went on their run before.
It can
So,
happen.
you
It
know,
can happen.
so
So 9
anyway.
points, a lot of points. Quick half hour, running out of time. Enjoy your bye week. Patriots, Colts in 2 weeks, so enjoy that when we get to that. So enjoy your weekend without the
Yeah.
Patriots. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm going to get a new word. Brogic.